The marble floor of the Celestial Hotel gleams beneath my worn sneakers. Each squeak announces what I already know. I don't belong here. 23 steps to the elevator. Quick pause. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. If this story has you hooked, hit like and subscribe, because what's coming next is even more intense. Lola. That voice turns my blood to ice. Brayden. 6 months of freedom gone. I don't turn around. 19 steps. 18. Don't you dare ignore me. His hand clamps on my shoulder, spinning me. Sandy hair, cold blue eyes, that cologne that now makes me sick. We were supposed to get married. You owe me an explanation. 10 feet to the elevator. I don't owe you anything, I manage. His grip tightens. 2 years together and you just vanish? I twist sharply, using Jenna's self-defense move. His fingers slip. I lunge forward, slamming the elevator button. Behind me, Brayden's footsteps gain speed. The elevator chimes. Doors slide open. I throw myself forward and collide with something solid. Warm. Unmovable. Strong hands catch my falling pastry boxes with startling speed. I stumble backward, looking up into a face that steals my breath. He's over 6 feet of controlled power in a charcoal suit. Dark hair swept back from features carved from stone, sharp angles and harder edges. Mediterranean olive skin. But it's his eyes that stop time. Dark brown, almost black, holding a weight that makes the air suddenly dense. A thin scar cuts through his left eyebrow. Lola, get back here. Brayden's voice shatters the moment. Please, I whisper to the stranger. Please, I need. His eyes flick past me to Brayden. Something dark crosses his features. His finger presses the button to close the doors. Wait, Brayden lunges forward. But the stranger shifts, becoming a wall between me and the door. The doors slide shut with a soft thunk that sounds like salvation. The elevator lurches into motion. My legs give up. I sag against the brass handrail, chest heaving. Thank you, I whisper. The boxes are safe. His voice is low, controlled, with an Italian accent. That seems to be what matters most to you. He's still holding my pastry boxes with unexpected gentleness. They're for delivery, I explained. Anniversary dinner. If they're damaged, I stop myself from babbling. He extends the boxes toward me with care. Our fingers don't touch, but I feel the near miss is static. What floor? He asks. 23. His finger presses 23 with decisive certainty. We ride in silence. The elevator is spacious but feels suddenly intimate. He's followed you here before. It's not a question. My eyes snap to his face. How did you? You counted steps. Planned your route. He studies me like a puzzle. Security should have intervened. They never do. He looks respectable. And I'm just the girl who delivers through the service entrance. Not anymore. The words are quiet but absolute. Before I can ask what he means, the elevator lurches. Shudders. The lights flicker and we're plunging downward in a stomach-dropping free fall before emergency brakes engage with a violent jolt. I'm thrown forward. The boxes fly from my hands. Strong arms catch me, pulling me against a solid chest as the elevator shrieks to a stop. Darkness. Absolute and total. Then emergency lighting kicks in, dim amber LEDs. Don't move. His voice is calm, one arm around my waist. The boxes landed on the bench. Intact. I realize I'm pressed against him, his heartbeat steady beneath expensive fabric while mine hammers. He smells like cedar and smoke. I try to step back. His arm loosens immediately, respectful. But I'm suddenly colder without that contact. I check the boxes. They've landed perfectly on the built-in bench. How did you? You did. You twisted as you fell. Protected them instinctively. He moves to the control panel. Interesting priorities. They're not just desserts. They're my grandmother's recipes. Her legacy. He glances back, something softening in his expression. Tell me about her. Why? We might be here a while. And you're terrified. Talking helps. He's right. She raised me in Brooklyn. After my parents died when I was 7. She taught me everything. Pasta from scratch, phyllo dough, chocolate tempering. And the recipes in those boxes? Her lavender honey macarons. The ones the Times wrote about 20 years ago. I sink onto the bench. She died 2 years ago. Leave me her recipe books and a dream. A bakery. I nod. How did you know? You need $40,000. Retail space in any decent neighborhood starts there. His dark eyes hold mine. You deliver to hotels like this because tips are better, but you're years away from your goal. It's terrifying how much he's deduced. Are you a mind reader? Observant. It's kept me alive. The phrasing makes my skin prickle. I'm Lola Peterson. I know. I'm Daniele Pinto. The name means nothing to me. Yet, you own the hotel. Among other things. Tell me about the man in the lobby. My stomach clenches. There's nothing to tell. Lola. My name and his accent sounds different. Richer. He grabbed you in public. You've developed strategies to avoid him. That's not nothing. The truth spills out in this suspended space. Braden. My ex-fiancé. 2 years together. He was charming at first. Successful. Perfect from the outside. But inside I was disappearing. Every decision needed his approval. He said he was protecting me. I believed him for 2 years. And then, Nana died. Her recipes were mine. He wanted me to sell them. Said they were old-fashioned nonsense. I meet Danielle's gaze. That's when I saw it. He didn't want a wife. He wanted something he could control and own. So you left. 3 days before the wedding. He won't accept it. Keep showing up, sending flowers, convinced I'll realize I made a mistake. Men like that don't understand, no. They see people as possessions. Something dark crosses his features. I know the type better than you think. The emergency phone crackles. Mr. Pinto? Sir, are you injured? Daniele rises smoothly. I'm fine, Marco. I have a guest, Miss Peterson. Both unharmed. 45 minutes minimum to extract you. I calculate quickly. My delivery was due 15 minutes ago. We'll be compensated. Danielle's tone brooks no argument. Marco, have someone complete Miss Peterson's delivery. Add it to my personal account. And the man pursuing her in the lobby, escort him from the property. Permanently banned. You don't have to, I protest. I know. But I will. The intercom cuts off. Why? I ask. Why help me? He's quiet then, because in 30 seconds you apologized 3 times. For running. For crashing into me. For needing help. Women who've been controlled apologize for existing. The observation cuts deep. That's very insightful. I've known women like you. Good women who believe the wrong men. They didn't all get away. The implication hangs heavy. What do you do, Mr. Pinto? Besides my own hotels? His smile is slow, dangerous. I solve problems, Lola. Some are quite permanent. I should be terrified. Instead, I feel safer here with this dangerous man than I did in that lobby. You're not afraid of me. He studies me. Most people are. Should I be? Probably. But not today. The machinery groans. Our suspended moment is ending. When we get out, he says, you'll go straight to the service exit. Avoid Braden. But tomorrow you're going to call this number. He extends a matte black business card. We're going to have dinner and discuss a solution to your problem. I take the card with trembling fingers. The silver text reads simply, Daniele Pinto with a phone number below. No company name. No title. Just his name, bold and unapologetic. A solution? I ask carefully. Protection. Resources. A way to make your ex-fiancé understand that you're no longer available for his harassment. I can't afford. I'm not asking for money. His eyes hold mine with unsettling intensity. I'm asking for dinner. One conversation. After that, you decide. Decide what? Whether you want to keep running or start living. The elevator shudders. Mechanical sounds echo through the shaft as the rescue operation intensifies. Our time alone is ending. Why me? I whisper. You don't know me. Don't I? He stands as the elevator begins to move, rising slowly. I know you protect your grandmother's legacy above your own safety. I know you apologize for taking up space. I know you've spent 6 months looking over your shoulder, building a dream with one hand while using the other to fend off your past. He steps closer and I have to tilt my head back to maintain eye contact. I know that when you crashed into this elevator, you were running from something. But you ran toward me, Lola. Maybe that means something. The elevator chimes. We've reached the 23rd floor. The doors slide open to reveal 2 security guards and a man in an expensive suit. Marco, I assume. His eyes widen when he sees Daniele, relief flooding his features. Mr. Pinto, thank God. The engineers are checking the entire system. This shouldn't have. Later, Marco. Danielle's tone is commanding but not harsh. Miss Peterson's delivery? Completed 10 minutes ago. The Bellamy's were understanding. No complaints. I should feel relieved. Instead, I feel unmoored, like the ground beneath me shifted during those 45 minutes suspended between floors. Daniele turns to me, his expression softening fractionally. Marco will escort you to the service exit. Your payment for today's delivery has been transferred to the bakery's account. Triple the normal rate for your inconvenience. That's too much. Consider it a hazard to pay for surviving my elevator. The ghost of a smile touches his lips. Then he does something unexpected. He takes my hand, bringing it to his lips in an old-fashioned gesture that should feel ridiculous but somehow doesn't. His mouth brushes my knuckles, warm and brief. Call me tomorrow, Lola Peterson. Or don't. But either way, Braden won't bother you again. He releases my hand and steps past me, Marco falling into step beside him. They disappear down the hallway, 2 men who clearly speak the language of power and control. I stood frozen, the business card clutched in my hand, my knuckles still tingling where his lips touched. Miss Peterson? One of the security guards gestures toward the service stairs. I can show you out. I follow him in a daze, my mind replaying every moment in that elevator. The way Daniele moved to protect me without hesitation. The intensity in his eyes when he asked about my grandmother. The casual way he solved my immediate problems. The delivery, the payment, the threat of Braden. The way he said, you ran toward me. Outside, the October air is crisp and clearing. I pull out my phone and immediately call Jenna. How'd the celestial delivery go? She answers. I got trapped in an elevator with a man who might be a mobster. He banned my ex from the hotel, tripled my payment, and gave me his personal number. Silence. Then, I'm sorry, what? I need to Google someone. Daniele Pinto. Do you know that name? I hear typing through the phone. Then Jenna's sharp intake of breath. Lola. Lola, holy shit. Get home. Now. We need to talk. What? What did you find? Just, get home. And bring wine. You're going to need it. Jenna's apartment smells like garlic and anxiety. She's pacing the small kitchen, laptop open on the counter, while I sit on a bar stool trying to process what I'm seeing. Daniele Pinto, real estate magnate or mob boss? Pinto organization under federal investigation. No charges filed. Business partner's mysterious disappearance linked to Pinto Empire. The articles paint a picture of a man who exists in legal gray areas. Real estate developer, yes. Hotel owner, definitely. But underneath the legitimate businesses run whispers of money laundering, protection rackets, and connections to organized crime families. He was acquitted, I say weekly, reading about his business partner's disappearance. Roberto Santini. They never found evidence. They never found a body either. Jenna stops pacing to look at me. Lola, this man is dangerous. Like capital D dangerous. And you were trapped in an elevator with him for 45 minutes? He was kind. The word sounds absurd given what's on the screen. He protected me from Braden. Asked about Nana. He didn't touch me except to catch me when I fell. That's literally the minimum standard for human decency. You weren't there, Jen. The way he looked at me, I stopped, not sure how to explain the intensity, the connection, the feeling that he saw me in a way no one else ever has. Jenna sits beside me taking my hand. What did he want? Dinner. Tomorrow. To discuss a solution to my Braden problem. Absolutely not. I wasn't going to. Good. Because men like Daniele Pinto don't offer solutions out of kindness. They offer deals. Arrangements. Things that benefit them. She scrolls through more articles. Look at this. Every woman photographed with him is gorgeous, expensive, and temporary. He doesn't do relationships. He does transactions. I stare at the photos. Daniele in a tuxedo at charity galas, always with a different woman on his arm. Elegant, polished women who look like they belong in his world. Women are nothing like me. I'm not going, I say firmly. You're right. It's insane. He's probably dangerous, definitely connected to terrible things, and I'd be an idiot too. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. The elevator incident report has been filed. You're listed as unharmed. I wanted to confirm this personally. DP. My breath catches. He texted me. How did he get my number? Jenna reads over my shoulder. Don't respond. But my thumbs are already moving. I'm fine. Thank you for checking. 3 dots appear immediately. He's typing. Good. The offer stands for tomorrow. 7 p.m. Marco will collect you if you accept. No pressure, Lola. But I think we could help each other. Help each other? Jenna reads aloud. What could you possibly offer him? That's the question that keeps me awake all night. What does a man who owns hotels and allegedly runs criminal enterprises want with a pastry chef who delivers through service entrances? I stare at the ceiling of Jenna's spare room, the business card on my nightstand catching streetlight. Matte black. Silver letters. A phone number that could change everything or destroy what little stability I've built. You ran toward me, he'd said. Maybe he was right. Maybe in that moment of panic, some instinct recognized something in him. Safety, perhaps. Or danger of a different kind, the kind that might protect me from the danger I already knew. At 3 a.m., I pick up my phone and type. 7 p.m. works. What's the address? His response comes within seconds. Marco will collect you at 6:45 from your current location. Or something you feel powerful in. Tomorrow, Lola, we will discuss how to give you back your life. I should delete the message. Should block the number. I should listen to every rational bone in my body screaming that this is a mistake. Instead, I save his contact and finally fall asleep, dreaming of dark eyes and elevator doors closing on my past. Marco arrives at exactly 6:45 p.m. in a black Mercedes that looks like it costs more than I'll make in 5 years. He's younger than I expected. Maybe early 30s, with sharp eyes that miss nothing and the build of someone who does more than drive cars for a living. Miss Peterson. He opens the rear door with professional courtesy. Mr. Pinto is looking forward to dinner. I've changed outfits 4 times. Settling on a simple black dress Jenna helped me pick out 2 years ago for a culinary awards dinner I never attended. Too afraid Braden would show up and make a scene. It's modest but well cut, and with Nana's silver locket, I feel almost like I belong. Almost. The interior of the Mercedes is cream leather and subtle luxury. Marco drives with confident efficiency through Manhattan traffic, heading uptown. How long have you worked for Mr. Pinto? I ask, needing to break the silence. 8 years. His eyes meet mine in the rearview mirror. He's a good man to work for. Fair. Loyal to people who are loyal to him. And to people who aren't? Marco's smile is slight but telling. Let's just say Mr. Pinto values honesty. He doesn't tolerate betrayal, but he respects people who tell him the truth, even when it's difficult. We turn onto a tree-lined street in the East 70s. Townhouses that probably cost $20 million each. Marco pulls up to a limestone facade with a glossy black door and window boxes full of late-season flowers. This is his home? I ask, stomach fluttering. One of them. He thought a restaurant would feel too formal. Marco opens my door. He wants you to be comfortable. The implication being that a mobster's private townhouse should feel comfortable. Right. The door opens before Marco can knock. Daniele stands there in charcoal dress pants and a white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. More casual than the suit from yesterday, but somehow more intimidating. Without the armor of formal wear, he seems more human. More real. More dangerous. Lola. My name is a greeting and an acknowledgement. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the invitation. I sound steadier than I feel. He steps aside and I enter a world that shouldn't exist in New York City. The foyer has soaring ceilings, original moldings, and art that I recognize from museum visits. A Modigliani. An actual Modigliani on his wall like it's a poster from Target. Wine. He gestures toward what must be a living room. Or something stronger? Wine is fine. The living room is surprisingly warm despite its grandeur. Deep sofas, built-in bookshelves actually full of books, a fireplace with a low fire burning. Through French doors I glimpse a garden, impossible in Manhattan, yet there it is. He pours wine from a bottle that probably costs more than my rent. Hands me a glass. Our fingers brush and the contact feels deliberate. You researched me, he says simply, settling onto the sofa across from my chair. What did you find? I appreciate that he's not pretending. That you own half of Manhattan. That you've been investigated for crimes you've never been charged with. That your business partner disappeared and some people think you killed him. And you were trapped in an elevator with him for 45 minutes? He was kind. The word sounds absurd given what's on the screen. He protected me from Braden. Asked about Nana. He didn't touch me except to catch me when I fell. That's literally the minimum standard for human decency. You weren't there, Jen. The way he looked at me, I stop, not sure how to explain the intensity, the connection, the feeling that he saw me in a way no one else ever has. Jenna sits beside me taking my hand. What did he want? Dinner. Tomorrow. To discuss a solution to my Braden problem. Absolutely not. I wasn't going to. Good. Because men like Daniele Pinto don't offer solutions out of kindness. They offer deals. Arrangements. Things that benefit them. She scrolls through more articles. Look at this. Every woman photographed with him is gorgeous, expensive, and temporary. He doesn't do relationships. He does transactions. I stare at the photos. Daniele in a tuxedo at charity galas, always with a different woman on his arm. Elegant, polished women who look like they belong in his world. Women are nothing like me. I'm not going, I say firmly. You're right. It's insane. He's probably dangerous, definitely connected to terrible things, and I'd be an idiot too. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. The elevator incident report has been filed. You're listed as unharmed. I wanted to confirm this personally. DP. My breath catches. He texted me. How did he get my number? Jenna reads over my shoulder. Don't respond. But my thumbs are already moving. I'm fine. Thank you for checking. 3 dots appear immediately. He's typing. Good. The offer stands for tomorrow. 7 p.m. Marco will collect you if you accept. No pressure, Lola. But I think we could help each other. Help each other? Jenna reads aloud. What could you possibly offer him? That's the question that keeps me awake all night. What does a man who owns hotels and allegedly runs criminal enterprises want with a pastry chef who delivers through service entrances? I stare at the ceiling of Jenna's spare room, the business card on my nightstand catching streetlight. Matte black. Silver letters. A phone number that could change everything or destroy what little stability I've built. You ran toward me, he'd said. Maybe he was right. Maybe in that moment of panic, some instinct recognized something in him. Safety, perhaps. Or danger of a different kind, the kind that might protect me from the danger I already knew. At 3 a.m., I pick up my phone and type. 7 p.m. works. What's the address? His response comes within seconds. Marco will collect you at 6:45 from your current location. Wear something you feel powerful in. Tomorrow, Lola, we will discuss how to give you back your life. I should delete the message. Should block the number. I should listen to every rational bone in my body screaming that this is a mistake. Instead, I save his contact and finally fall asleep, dreaming of dark eyes and elevator doors closing on my past. Marco arrives at exactly 6:45 p.m. in a black Mercedes that looks like it costs more than I'll make in 5 years. He's younger than I expected. Maybe early 30s, with sharp eyes that miss nothing and the build of someone who does more than drive cars for a living. Miss Peterson. He opens the rear door with professional courtesy. Mr. Pinto is looking forward to dinner. I've changed outfits 4 times. Settling on a simple black dress Jenna helped me pick out 2 years ago for a culinary awards dinner I never attended. Too afraid Braden would show up and make a scene. It's modest but well cut, and with Nana's silver locket, I feel almost like I belong. Almost. The interior of the Mercedes is cream leather and subtle luxury. Marco drives with confident efficiency through Manhattan traffic, heading uptown. How long have you worked for Mr. Pinto? I ask, needing to break the silence. 8 years. His eyes meet mine in the rearview mirror. He's a good man to work for. Fair. Loyal to people who are loyal to him. And to people who aren't? Marco's smile is slight but telling. Let's just say Mr. Pinto values honesty. He doesn't tolerate betrayal, but he respects people who tell him the truth, even when it's difficult. We turn onto a tree-lined street in the East 70s. Townhouses that probably cost $20 million each. Marco pulls up to a limestone facade with a glossy black door and window boxes full of late-season flowers. This is his home? I ask, stomach fluttering. One of them. He thought a restaurant would feel too formal. Marco opens my door. He wants you to be comfortable. The implication being that a mobster's private townhouse should feel comfortable. Right. The door opens before Marco can knock. Daniele stands there in charcoal dress pants and a white shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows. More casual than the suit from yesterday but somehow more intimidating. Without the armor of formal wear, he seems more human. More real. More dangerous. Lola. My name is a greeting and an acknowledgement. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the invitation. I sound steadier than I feel. He steps aside and I enter a world that shouldn't exist in New York City. The foyer has soaring ceilings, original moldings, and art that I recognize from museum visits. A Modigliani. An actual Modigliani on his wall like it's a poster from Target. Wine. He gestures toward what must be a living room. Or something stronger? Wine is fine. The living room is surprisingly warm despite its grandeur. Deep sofas, built-in bookshelves actually full of books, a fireplace with a low fire burning. Through French doors I glimpse a garden, impossible in Manhattan, yet there it is. He pours wine from a bottle that probably costs more than my rent. Hands me a glass. Our fingers brush and the contact feels deliberate. You researched me, he says simply, settling onto the sofa across from my chair. What did you find? I appreciate that he's not pretending. That you own half of Manhattan. That you've been investigated for crimes you've never been charged with. That your business partner disappeared and some people think you killed him. Roberto Santini. Danielle's expression doesn't change. Did I kill him? The direct question steals my breath. Did you? No. He holds my gaze. But I know who did. And I know why. And I chose not to stop it because Roberto was trafficking young girls through my hotels without my knowledge. When I discovered it, I gave certain information to certain people. What they did with that information was their business. The honesty is brutal and compelling. That's not much better than killing him yourself. No, he agrees. It's not. But I sleep fine at night because 16 girls went home to their families instead of disappearing into brothels across Eastern Europe. I sip wine to give myself time to process. Why are you telling me this? Because if you accept what I'm going to offer, you deserve to know who I am. Not the speculation. Not the rumors. The truth. Which is, I run businesses, some legal, some less so. I protect my territory and my people. I have rules: no drugs, no trafficking, no harm to innocents. Men who break those rules answer to me. He leans forward slightly. I'm not a good man, Lola. But I'm not the monster the newspapers suggest. And what exactly are you offering me? 6 months, Daniele says, setting down his wine glass. You become my girlfriend. Public appearances, social events, anything that requires a partner. In exchange, I provide protection from Braden, financial support for your bakery, and access to resources that will help you establish your business. I stare at him. You want to hire me to be your girlfriend? I want to offer you an arrangement that benefits us both. What could I possibly offer you? The question comes out sharper than intended. You have money, power, women who actually belong in your world. Those women want something from me. Status, money, connections. His dark eyes hold mine. Yesterday in that elevator you didn't know who I was. You saw a stranger and asked for help. Not because I was useful, but because I was there. When's the last time someone looked at me and saw a person first? The vulnerability in his voice catches me off guard. I have enemies, Lola. Business rivals who'd love to find a weakness. A real relationship makes me vulnerable. But a girlfriend who's temporary, who knows the terms, who's essentially an employee. He shrugs. That's just business. They can't leverage something that isn't real. But you want it to look real. I need it to look real. Which means time together, public affection, you living here. He sees my expression and raises a hand. Your own suite, your own space. I'm not asking for that. Heat floods my cheeks. So I'd be what? A very expensive roommate who pretends to date you? You'd be someone building her dream while I protect mine. He stands, moving to the French doors. Come here. I shouldn't. Every instinct says this is manipulation, seduction, danger, wearing a handsome face. But I stand anyway, crossing to where he waits by the doors. He opens them into the garden. It's small by normal standards but impossible for Manhattan. 30 feet of carefully tended space with a fountain, climbing roses, and a wrought iron bench beneath a pergola. My mother planted this garden, he says quietly, before she died. Before my father turned our name into something people whisper about. He looks down at me. I keep it exactly as she made it. A reminder that beautiful things can exist in dark places. Why are you telling me this? Because you asked what you could offer me. He turns to face me fully. 6 months where someone in my life isn't afraid of me, isn't using me, isn't waiting for an angle. 6 months where I can take someone to dinner and not wonder if they're FBI or a rival organization or just after my money. That's incredibly lonely. Yes. The simple admission breaks something in his carefully controlled expression. It is. I should walk away. I should thank him for dinner and call Marco to take me home. Should forget elevator encounters and dangerous men and arrangements that sound too good to be true. What happens after 6 months? I hear myself ask instead. Your bakery is open. Braden is no longer a threat. And we part ways as friends, hopefully. He steps closer. Unless you want to renegotiate terms. And if I say yes now? What are the actual terms? You move in this weekend. Your own suite, 3rd floor, completely private. You attend events with me as needed. I'll give you 3 days notice minimum. In public, we're affectionate but appropriate. In private, we're respectful roommates. He pulls out his phone, shows me a document. I'll provide $40,000 for your bakery costs, transferred in installments so it looks like I'm supporting my girlfriend's dream, not buying her. You keep all profits from your business. I scroll through the document. It's detailed, professional, and shockingly fair. You had this drawn up before I even agreed to dinner. I'm an optimist. That ghost of a smile again. And I'm very good at reading people, Lola. You didn't delete my number. That meant something. It means I'm desperate and probably stupid. It means you're brave enough to consider an unconventional solution to an impossible problem. He takes the phone back. I'm not asking for an answer tonight. Take the weekend. Think about it. Talk to your friend Jenna. Yes, I know about her. Talk to whoever you trust. And Braden? Already handled. He received a visit this afternoon from people who explained that his harassment has been noticed. He won't bother you again. Something cold slides down my spine. What kind of visit? The convincing kind. No one was hurt, Lola. But he understands now that you're under protection. Whether you accept my offer or not, he won't touch you again. I should be horrified. Instead, I feel a weight lift that I've carried for 6 months. The constant looking over my shoulder, the fear every time I leave Jenna's apartment, the way my heart races when I see a sandy-haired man in a crowd. Gone. Just like that. Because Daniele Pinto made a phone call. This is insane, I whisper. Probably. He guides me back inside, his hand barely touching my lower back. But insanity and innovation often look the same at first. Dinner is served by a woman named Maria who treats me with warm but professional courtesy. The food is incredible. Handmade pasta, perfectly seared fish, vegetables that taste like they came from a garden, not a grocery store. We talk about everything except the arrangement. He asks about my grandmother's recipes, my culinary training, and my favorite desserts to make. I ask about his properties, how he got started in real estate, what he does when he's not working. He's intelligent, well-read, surprisingly funny in a dry way. When he smiles, really smiles, it transforms his severe face into something dangerously attractive. By the time Marco drives me home, my head is spinning with possibility and terror. Think about it, Daniele had said at his door, lifting my hand to his lips again in that old-fashioned gesture. But Lola? Whatever you decide, you're safe now. That's not conditional on your answer. Now, back in Jenna's spare room at midnight, I stare at the document he emailed me. 6 months. $40,000. Protection. Freedom. All I have to do is pretend to love a man who might be capable of terrible things. Or maybe not pretend. Maybe that's what terrifies me most. Saturday morning arrives with autumn sunlight and Jenna's disapproval radiating through her kitchen. You're actually doing this. She watches me fold clothes into my battered suitcase. Moving in with a man who's probably killed people. He said he didn't kill Roberto Santini. He said he gave information that led to someone else killing him. That's splitting hairs, Lola. She's right. But I signed the agreement last night at 2 a.m., and Marco is arriving in an hour. It's 6 months, I say, folding the black dress. 6 months where I don't worry about rent or Braden, or whether I'll ever have enough saved for my own place. 6 months where I can actually focus on building the bakery instead of just surviving. And what does he get? Jenna leans against the doorframe. Really? Because men like that don't do charity. He gets someone who isn't afraid of him. The words sound naive even to me. Someone who sees him as human first. That's what he told you. But Lola, what if it's a lie? What if this whole thing is just... Then I'm exactly where I was before, except with $40,000 and 6 months closer to my goal. I close the suitcase. I'm tired, Jen. Tired of running, of being scared, of working 3 jobs and still being nowhere near my dream. Maybe this is a mistake. But it's my mistake to make. She's quiet for a long moment. Then she pulls me into a fierce hug. You call me every day. And if anything feels wrong, Anything, you leave. Promise me. I promise. And if he hurts you, I know people who know people who. You absolutely do not know people who know people. I could learn. She pulls back, eyes suspiciously bright. You're my best friend, Lola. You're the sister I chose. So if Daniele Pinto turns out to be a monster instead of just monster adjacent, I will find a way to make him regret it. The Mercedes arrives at exactly 11 a.m. Marco loads my 4 boxes and 2 suitcases, my entire life, into the trunk with careful efficiency. Miss Peterson. He opens the rear door. Mr. Pinto is working from home today. He wanted to give you a proper tour himself. The drive uptown feels surreal. I'm moving in with a man I met 3 days ago. A man who might be a criminal. A man whose touch makes my skin feel electric and whose darkness should terrify me but somehow doesn't. The townhouse looks different in daylight. More real, less like something from a movie. Daniele opens the door before Marco can knock, dressed casually in jeans and a navy Henley that somehow looks as expensive as his suits. Welcome home, Lola. The words are simple but weighted. Let me show you your space. My suite is on the 3rd floor, facing the garden. Bedroom with an actual king-size bed, sitting area with built-in bookshelves, bathroom with a clawfoot tub that makes me want to cry. Everything is decorated in soft blues and creams, elegant but comfortable. If you hate it, we can redecorate, Daniele says, watching my reaction. Maria helped choose everything, but it's your space. It's perfect. I turn to him. It's too much. It's what you deserve. He moves to the windows, gestures to the garden below. You'll have privacy here. The staff knows this floor is yours. I'm on the 5th floor, so we're not. He pauses. You'll have space. Where do you work? 4th floor, study when I'm home. Downtown office most days. He turns back to me. We should discuss the schedule. I have an event next Friday, gallery opening in Chelsea. Black tie. I'll arrange for someone to help you find a dress. I can find my own dress. His smile is slight but genuine. I'm sure you can. But these events have expectations, and I'd like to help you feel confident, not uncomfortable. Is surprisingly thoughtful. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. He heads for the door, then pauses. Lola? You can leave any time. The money, the protection, those aren't conditional on you staying. If this doesn't work, we end the arrangement and you keep what you've been given. No consequences. Why would you do that? Because you're already looking for the exits. I can see it in how you stand near doors, how you calculate distance. His dark eyes are too perceptive. I want you to stay because you choose to, not because you're trapped. There's a difference. He leaves before I can respond, closing the door with a soft click that echoes in my beautiful new cage. The rest of the day is spent unpacking, exploring the house when I think no one's watching. 5 floors of an elegant townhouse. Gym and wine cellar in the basement, main living spaces on the 1st floor, my suite on the 3rd, Danielle's study on the 4th, his private quarters on the 5th. I don't go to the 5th floor. That feels like a line I shouldn't cross. Maria finds me in the kitchen around 3 p.m., studying the professional-grade appliances like they're alien technology. You bake, yes? Her accent is thicker than Danielle's, warm and maternal. He told me. Said you need space to work. I didn't expect. This kitchen is yours whenever you want. I cook dinner, but for lunch, breakfast, baking, you do what you like. She pats my hand. You're good for him, I think. He smiles more already. We barely know each other. Time is less important than recognition. She says it like a grandmother sharing wisdom. Some people, you know them in a moment. Others, you spend years and never really see them. That night I baked Nana's lemon ricotta cookies, the recipe I've made 1,000 times. The familiar rhythm calms my racing thoughts. Measure, mix, fold, shape. The kitchen smells like home. I'm pulling the 2nd batch from the oven when Daniele appears in the doorway, drawn by the scent. I haven't had these since. He stops. My mother used to make something similar. Try one. I plate the still warm cookies, pour milk without asking if he wants it. He sits at the kitchen island, this dangerous man in my new dangerous life, and eats cookies with an expression that makes him look younger. Almost vulnerable. Thank you, he says quietly. For being here. For trying. Thank you for the chance. Our eyes meet across the counter and something shifts. The arrangement suddenly feels less like a business transaction and more like something I can't quite name. Something that might be far more dangerous than anything in his criminal empire. Friday arrives too quickly. A woman named Claudia appears at 2 p.m. with an assistant, rolling racks of dresses into my suite like a mobile boutique. Mr. Pinto said midnight blue or deep emerald, she explains, pulling out gowns that probably cost more than a car. Something elegant but not overdone. You're new to his world, so we want you to be comfortable. I tried on 7 dresses before finding the one, midnight blue silk that fits like it was made for me, simple but stunning. Claudia nods approvingly. Perfect. Confident but not trying too hard. You'll be the most beautiful woman there. I doubt that. But when I see my reflection, hair styled in soft waves, minimal makeup, Nana's locket the only jewelry, I almost believe it. Daniele is waiting in the foyer at 7 p.m., stunning in a black tuxedo. His eyes widen slightly when he sees me descending the stairs. Lola. My name comes out rougher than usual. You're breathtaking. Heat floods my face. Thank you. You clean up well yourself. His smile is genuine. Shall we? He offers his arm with old-world courtesy. The gallery is in Chelsea, all white walls and champagne and people who look like they've never worried about rent in their lives. Danielle's hand settles at my lower back as we enter, and the gesture feels possessive. Protective. Stay close, he murmurs. These people are vultures. He introduces me to a dizzying parade of names and faces, business associates, art collectors, society figures who assess me like I'm a painting they're considering purchasing. I smile until my cheeks ache, let Daniele guide conversations, try not to feel like an imposter in borrowed clothes. Then a man approaches who makes Danielle's body tense beside me. Victor Kossoff is 50-something, silver-haired, with cold blue eyes and a smile that never reaches them. Expensive suit, Rolex, the bearing of someone who's used to power. Daniele. His accent is thick Russian. I heard you finally found someone special enough to bring to these tedious events. Victor. Danielle's voice drops several degrees. Lola Peterson, this is Victor Kossoff. A business acquaintance. The pause before acquaintance speaks volumes. Enchanting. Victor takes my hand, holds it too long. A pastry chef, I'm told. How delightfully domestic. There's condescension in every word. I extract my hand politely. I prefer to think of it as keeping people alive with sugar and butter. It's surprising how effective that is. Victor laughs, but his eyes are calculating. Charming and spirited. You've chosen well, Daniele. Though I wonder, does she know what kind of man she's standing beside? The kind who values loyalty. Danielle's hand tightens fractionally at my waist. The kind who protects what's his. The possessive phrase should bother me. Instead, I lean slightly into Danielle's touch, playing my role. I know exactly who he is. Victor's smile sharpens. Do you? How fascinating. Well, enjoy the evening, Miss Peterson. And Daniele, we should talk soon. About that Brooklyn property. He drifts away, leaving tension in his wake. Who is he? I ask quietly. Competition. Russian organization trying to expand into my territory. Daniele guides me toward a quieter corner. He's dangerous, Lola. If he ever approaches you without me, you walk away. Immediately. Is he why you really wanted someone temporary? So he can't use me against you? Danielle's jaw tightens. Partially. Victor plays dirty. A real relationship makes anyone vulnerable. But you're supposed to be just business. He can't leverage business. Except now he's met me. Now he knows I'm here. which is why I'll keep you safe. His hand comes up to cup my jaw, thumb brushing my cheekbone in a gesture that looks affectionate but feels like a promise. I protect what's mine, remember? Even when it's temporary. The evening continues. More introductions, more champagne, more performance. But I'm hyper-aware of Danielle's presence. His hand at my back, his body angled protectively toward mine, the way his eyes scan the room constantly for threats. Around 10 p.m. we finally escape to the car. You did beautifully, Daniele says as Marco drives us home. Everyone believed it. Believed what? That you're mine. That I'm yours. That this is real. He looks at me in the dim interior. Thank you for playing your part so well. Playing. Right. Because that's what this is. A performance, an arrangement, a temporary fiction. So why did it feel so real when his hand touched my face? 3 weeks pass in a blur of carefully orchestrated domesticity. I establish rhythms. Baking in the mornings, business planning in the afternoons, occasional events with Daniele at night. We're polite roommates who happen to attend galas together. Except it doesn't feel polite anymore. Feels like the space between us is shrinking. Tuesday morning, I'm testing recipes when Daniele appears, already dressed for his downtown office. He started doing this, stopping by the kitchen before leaving, stealing whatever I'm baking, making small talk that feels increasingly less small. Chocolate. He reaches for a truffle I've just finished. Salted caramel center. Tell me if the salt ratio is right. He bites and his eyes close in appreciation. Perfect. Everything you make is perfect. Flattery doesn't get you extra samples. Doesn't it? That smile again, the one that transforms his severe face into something dangerously attractive. What extra samples? Actual feedback beyond perfect. He considers the remaining half of the truffle seriously. The salt hits at exactly the right moment, after the sweetness making you crave another bite. The chocolate is bittersweet enough to balance the caramel. The texture is smooth but has enough resistance to feel substantial. He meets my eyes. Perfect was accurate, but if you want detailed praise, I can provide that too. Heat floods my cheeks. That's very specific feedback. I pay attention to things that matter. The weight in his words suggests he's not just talking about chocolate. My phone buzzes, breaking the tension. Jenna, coffee later? Need to hear you're still alive and not being held captive by your hot mobster. I smile despite myself. Jenna wants coffee. Can I meet her this afternoon? Something flickers in Danielle's expression. So quick I almost miss it. Disappointment? Of course. Marco can drive you. I can take the subway like a normal person. You're not a normal person anymore, Lola. You're my girlfriend. He says it gently, but there's steel underneath. Which means Victor Kossoff and others know your face. Marco drives you or you don't go. The reminder of danger, of what this arrangement really means, lands like cold water. Right. Of course. He steps closer and I smell cedar and smoke. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to keep you safe. There's a difference. Is there? Because from where I'm standing they feel pretty similar. Then let me show you the difference. He pulls out his phone, types quickly. I just sent you access to one of my cars. Black Range Rover in the garage. Keys on the hook by the door. You can drive yourself anywhere you want, anytime you want. But if you're going somewhere public, I'd prefer Marco to accompany you. Not to watch you, to watch everyone else. The gesture surprises me. You're giving me a car? I'm giving you freedom within reasonable safety parameters. There's a difference. He brushes past me toward the door, then pauses. Enjoy coffee with Jenna. And Lola? You can tell her anything. I mean that. No secrets about our arrangement. He's gone before I can respond, leaving me standing in the kitchen holding a chocolate truffle and wondering how a man can be so controlling and so liberating at the same time. Jenna meets me at our usual cafe in Brooklyn, eyes widening when Marco drops me off in the Mercedes. Holy shit, you have a driver now? It's complicated. I slid into the booth across from her. How's the bakery? Don't deflect. You've been living with Daniele Pinto for 3 weeks. I need details. Real details. So I told her. About the suite that's mine, the kitchen I can use anytime, the way Daniele is distant and attentive simultaneously. About gallery openings and charity dinners where I play the role of devoted girlfriend. About Viktor Kossoff and the reminder that this world has real dangers. But what's he like? Jenna presses. When it's just you two? Surprisingly normal? He asks about my recipes. We eat dinner together sometimes. Last week we watched a documentary about French pastry chefs and he fell asleep on the couch. I stir my coffee. It's strange, Jen. Sometimes I forget it's not real. Maybe it's not as fake as you think. It's an arrangement. A business deal. In 5 months I'll have my bakery money and we'll part ways. Does he treat it like business? Jenna's eyes are too knowing. Because from what you're describing, it sounds like he's treating you like someone he cares about. I think about stolen truffles and thoughtful gestures. About the way he looks at me sometimes when he thinks I'm not paying attention. About how his hand lingers when he helps me from the car. It doesn't matter, I say firmly. This isn't a romance. It's a practical solution to mutual problems. Keep telling yourself that. Jenna reaches across the table, squeezes my hand. But Lola? Be careful. Not of him hurting you physically, of him making you feel things that can't survive past 6 months. Her words haunt me on the drive back. Marco is professional, silent, giving me space to think. When we arrive at the townhouse, Danielle's car is already in the garage. I find him in the study, tie loosened, looking exhausted. Papers cover his desk. Contracts, blueprints, documents with too many legal terms. Bad day. I ask from the doorway. He looks up and something in his expression softens. Better now. How was coffee? Good. Jenna thinks I'm falling for you. The words escape before I can stop them. Daniele goes very still. Are you? I should laugh it off. Should deflect. Should maintain the careful distance we've established. Instead, I step into the study, closing the door behind me. I don't know. Are you falling for me? Yes. No hesitation. No pretense. Just brutal honesty. I have been since the elevator. Maybe before, when I read your background check and saw someone who escaped bad things and started building good ones. My heart hammers. Daniele. It doesn't change our arrangement. He stands, moving around the desk but keeping distance between us. You're still free to leave in 5 months. The money is still yours regardless. But I need you to know, for me this stopped the moment you stood in that gallery and told Viktor Kossoff you knew exactly who I was. Why? Because you chose me. Even knowing the truth, even understanding the danger, you chose to stand beside me. His hands flex at his sides, like he's restraining himself from reaching for me. No one has chosen me, just me, not my power or money or protection, in 15 years. I should be smart. Should maintain boundaries. Should remember this is temporary. Instead, I cross the space between us. I chose you because you're the first person in 2 years who made me feel powerful instead of small. My hand rises to his chest, feeling his heartbeat through expensive cotton. Because you see my dreams as worthy. Because when you touch me, I feel safe and terrified at the same time. His hand covers mine, pressing it against his racing heart. Lola. I know it's complicated. I know we have 5 months. I know this probably ends badly. I look up at him, this dangerous man who somehow becomes safe. But can we stop pretending we're just roommates playing a role? What are you asking for? Honesty. Real conversation. Stop holding back like you're afraid you'll scare me. I step closer. I'm already scared, Daniele. I'm terrified. But I'm also tired of pretending this is just business. His control fractures. One hand comes up to cup my face, thumb tracing my cheekbone like he's memorizing the shape of me. If we do this, if we make this real, there's no going back. You'll know everything. See everything. Be part of a world you can't unknow. Maybe I want to know. Maybe I want to see. My other hand rises to his face, fingers tracing the scar through his eyebrow. Maybe I want to be part of your world instead of just visiting it. 5 months, he reminds me, but his voice is rough. We agreed on 5 months. Then we have 5 months to figure out if this is worth renegotiating. I rise on my toes, bringing my lips close to his. Stop protecting me from yourself. I'm stronger than you think. He breaks. His mouth crashes against mine, not gentle, not careful, but desperate. Like he's been holding back for weeks and the dam finally burst. I kiss him back with equal desperation. Months of tension and attraction and careful distance finally exploding into something real. We break apart, breathing hard. Danielle's forehead rests against mine, his hand still cupping my face like I might disappear. This changes everything, he says quietly. I know. Victor will see you as a real weakness now. Others too. The protection I offered becomes more complicated when what we have is genuine. I know that too. He pulls back enough to meet my eyes. And you still want this? I want to stop pretending. Whatever that means, whatever comes with it, I want the truth. My hand is still pressed against his racing heart. Even if the truth is that this ends in 5 months. It doesn't have to. The words are careful, hopeful. The arrangement was 6 months. What we feel, that's not on a schedule. So what are you saying? I'm saying we honor the original agreement. You get your money, your freedom, your bakery. But we also acknowledge this is real. We date, actually date, not perform dating. His thumb traces my lower lip. And in 5 months we see where we are. It's more than I expected. Less than I suddenly want. But it's honest. Okay, I whisper. Real dating while living together and occasionally pretending for public consumption. That's not confusing at all. His laugh is low, genuine. Welcome to my world, Tesoro. Nothing is simple. What does that mean? Tesoro? Treasure. He kisses my forehead gently. What you are. What you've become. My throat tightens with emotion I wasn't prepared for. Daniele. Don't. He steps back, creating necessary distance. Don't say anything yet. We'll figure this out as we go. But right now, I need to finish this contract and you're extremely distracting. Is that a complaint? Absolutely not. He returns to his desk, but his eyes stay on me. Will you have dinner with me tonight? Real dinner, not an arranged dinner. Just us. I'd like that. I leave him to his work, returning to my suite with my mind spinning. What have I just done? Complicated a perfectly good business arrangement with feelings? Agreed to date my fake boyfriend for real? But when I think about his kiss, his admission, the way he said treasure like he meant it, I can't bring myself to regret it. That evening, Maria leaves dinner in warming trays with a knowing smile. Mr. Pinto said you're eating in the garden tonight. Special occasion? Something like that. The garden is transformed. String lights hung through the pergola, candles on the small table, wine already breathing. Daniele appears in jeans and a sweater, more casual than I've ever seen him. You did all this? I ask. Maria helped. But the idea was mine. He pulls out my chair. I wanted our first real date to be memorable. We eat and talk about everything. His mother's garden, my grandmother's recipes, his impossible childhood with a brutal father, my grief over losing my parents so young. The conversation flows easily, naturally, without performance or careful distance. Tell me about your father, I say finally, emboldened by wine and intimacy. His expression darkens. He was a violent man who built an empire on fear. He taught me power comes from making people afraid of what you'll do to them. That caring about anyone makes you weak. But you're not like that. I'm exactly like that. He meets my eyes. I use fear as a tool. I hurt people who threaten what's mine. The difference is I choose who deserves that treatment. My father didn't discriminate. You have rules? Lines you won't cross. Because I saw what crossing all lines made him, a monster everyone hated, including his own son. He reaches across the table, taking my hand. I don't want to be hated, Lola. Feared, yes. Respected, absolutely. But not hated. I don't hate you. You should probably be more afraid than you are. Maybe. But I see who you are when no one's watching. The man who keeps his mother's garden. Who asks about recipes. Who falls asleep during documentaries. I squeeze his hand. That's who you are too. For you, he says quietly. That version only exists for you. The weight of that admission settles between us, beautiful and terrifying. We sit in the garden long after dinner, talking until the candles burn low. When he walks me to my suite, he kisses me goodnight at my door, slow, thorough, a promise of more. Sleep well, Tesoro, he murmurs against my lips. But I don't sleep well. I lie awake thinking about crossed lines and real feelings and how complicated everything just became. Across the house, I suspect Daniele is doing the same. The next morning, everything feels different. I wake to sunlight streaming through my windows and the realization that I crossed a line I can't cross. The arrangement is no longer simple. My feelings are no longer theoretical. Daniele is real. This is real. And I have no idea what that means. I find him in the kitchen already, dressed for work but lingering over coffee like he's waiting for something. Waiting for me. Morning, I say, suddenly shy in a way I wasn't last night. Good morning, Tesoro. The endearment makes my stomach flip. He pours me coffee without asking how I take it. He already knows. Cream, no sugar. Sleep well. Not really. You. Terribly. But he's smiling. I kept thinking about what would happen next. And, what did you decide? He sets down his cup, studies me with those dark, intense eyes. That we take this one day at a time. No rushing. No pressure. We have 5 months to figure out if this is sustainable or if we're just two people caught up in proximity and intensity. It's rational. Sensible. Everything I should want. So why does it feel like he's already preparing for the ending? One day at a time, I agree, trying to keep my voice steady. Starting with today. What's on your schedule? Meetings downtown until 4. Then I have to deal with a property dispute in Brooklyn. His expression darkens. Victor is making moves on territory that's been mine for a decade. It's going to get ugly. The reminder of his other life, the dangerous one, lands hard. How ugly. Nothing you need to worry about. I keep business separate from, he gestures between us. This. But I'm part of your life now. Really part of it. Doesn't that mean I should know what's happening? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, Victor is trying to force me into a partnership I don't want. He's using intimidation tactics, threatening my associates, disrupting my legitimate businesses. Today I'm going to make it very clear that his tactics won't work. By doing what? By being more intimidating than he is. He says it simply, like he's discussing a business strategy, not potential violence. I won't apologize for protecting what's mine, Lola. That includes you now. The possessiveness should bother me. Instead, it makes me feel safe and claimed in equal measure. Just, be careful, I say. He crosses to me, cups my face in his hands. I've survived 15 years in this world. I'll survive today. He kisses me gently, thoroughly, like he's memorizing the taste of me. What will you do while I'm gone? Bake. Work on the bakery business plan. Maybe call the real estate agent about potential locations. His smile is genuine, proud. You're really doing this. We made a deal. I'm holding up my end. This stopped being about the deal last night. He releases me reluctantly. Marco will be available if you need to go anywhere. And Lola? Stay away from the Brooklyn waterfront today. That's where the dispute is happening. The specific warning makes my skin prickle. Will you tell me? After. What happens? If you want to know, yes. He gathers his briefcase, his phone, all the accoutrements of his legitimate life. but you might not want the details. I'm stronger than you think. I'm beginning to realize that. He pauses at the kitchen door. Dinner tonight? Just us again? I'd like that. He leaves and the townhouse feels too big, too quiet. I throw myself into baking, testing new flavor combinations, perfecting techniques, anything to keep my mind from imagining what making it very clear means in Danielle's world. Around noon my phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Miss Peterson. The voice is smooth, accented. Russian. This is Viktor Kosov. We met at the gallery. My blood turns cold. How did you get this number? I make it my business to know things. I'm calling to extend an invitation for coffee. Just you and me. A conversation. I'm not interested. I think you should be. We could discuss what it really means to be with a man like Daniele Pinto. The things he's done. The people he's hurt. Victor's tone is almost gentle. You seem like a nice girl, Lola. Too nice for what's coming. I know exactly who Daniele is. Do you? Has he told you about the Santini situation? About what really happened to Roberto? About? I hang up, hands shaking. Immediately I call Daniele. He answers on the first ring. What's wrong? His voice is sharp, alert. Lola, what happened? Victor just called me. He wanted to meet for coffee. To talk about you. Silence. Then, what did you tell him? That I wasn't interested. Then I hung up. My voice is steadier than I feel. He knew my number, Daniele. How did he get my number? He has resources. People who dig up information. I hear him moving, giving orders to someone else. Marco is coming to get you. Pack a bag. You're not staying at the townhouse tonight. Where am I going? Somewhere safe. Somewhere Victor doesn't know about. His voice is hard, dangerous. He crossed a line contacting you directly. I need to handle this, and I need you somewhere I don't have to worry about him getting to you. I'm not running from him. You're not running. You're being smart. There's a difference. He softens slightly. Please, Lola. Trust me. Just for today. I think about Victor's cold voice, his calculated words, the threat underneath the polite invitation. Okay. Where? Marco knows. I'll call you in a few hours. He pauses. I'm sorry. I should have anticipated this. It's not your fault, It's absolutely my fault. You're in danger because of me. Because I wanted you close enough that now everyone knows you matter. He sounds torn between regret and resignation. Pack warm clothes. And Lola? I'll fix this. I promise. He ends the call before I can respond. 30 minutes later, Marco arrives looking grimmer than I've ever seen him. Miss Peterson. We need to move quickly. I've packed a bag with basics, grabbed my laptop and recipe notebooks. Where are we going? Upstate. Mr. Pinto has a property there. Very private. Very secure. He takes my bag, ushers me toward the Mercedes. He wants you away from the city until he's resolved the Kosov situation. How long will that take? Marco's expression is answer enough. However long it takes. The drive is 2 hours through an increasingly rural landscape. We end up at a sprawling estate, more mansion than house, set on what must be hundreds of acres. Woods, a lake, complete isolation. You'll be safe here, Marco assures me, carrying my bag inside. There's staff, cook, housekeeper, security, everything you need. Mr. Pinto will call when he can. How often does he use this place? Rarely. It was his mother's. She loved the quiet. Marco's expression softens. He comes here when he needs to think. Or when he needs to keep someone safe. After Marco leaves, I explore the house. It's beautiful, less formal than the townhouse, more lived in. Family photos on the walls, comfortable furniture, a kitchen that's clearly been used for actual cooking, not just professional catering. In the study, I find shelves of books in Italian and English. A desk with old photographs. One shows a young Daniele, maybe 10, with a beautiful woman who must be his mother. There in the garden, her hands covered in soil, him laughing at something off camera. He looks so happy. So normal. Before his father, before the violence, before he became the man who makes people afraid. My phone rings. Daniele. Are you there? Are you safe? I'm here. Marco left 10 minutes ago. I sink into the desk chair, still holding the photograph. This place is beautiful. It was my mother's sanctuary. Now it's yours for as long as you need it. He sounds tired. I'm sorry, Lola. This isn't what I wanted for you. What happened to Victor? We had a conversation. A very direct conversation about boundaries and consequences. He's choosing words carefully. He understands now that you're off limits. But I don't trust him to honor that understanding without motivation to stay away. What kind of motivation? The kind that makes men like Victor reconsider their options. A long pause. You said you wanted honesty. So here it is. I hurt people today, Lola. Not Victor directly, but people who work for him. I made an example that will keep him away from you. My hand tightens on the phone. How badly did you hurt them? They'll recover. Eventually. No apology in his voice. I won't say I'm sorry for protecting you. But I understand if this is too much. Knowing what I'm capable of changes things. I look at the photograph, the happy boy who became a dangerous man. Did you have a choice? With Victor? There's always a choice. I chose violence because it's the language men like Victor understand. Diplomacy doesn't work when someone sees kindness as weakness. Are you safe? Did he hurt you? No. Something in his voice shifts. Surprise, maybe? You're worried about me. Of course I am. You're dealing with a dangerous man because he threatened me. So yes, I'm worried. I'm fine, Tesoro. This is what I do. What I'm good at. He sighs. Stay at the estate tonight. Tomorrow I'll know if it's safe for you to come back. The staff will take care of you. And Lola? There's a piano in the music room. My mother played. I thought you might enjoy it. I don't play piano. Then enjoy listening to the silence. Sometimes that's healing too. He's quiet for a moment. I need to go. But I'll call you later tonight. Try to relax. You're safe there. After he hangs up, I wander the estate. Find the music room with its grand piano. The library with floor-to-ceiling books. The kitchen where a kindly woman named Elena feeds me soup and bread like I'm a wounded bird. That night, alone in a beautiful bedroom overlooking the lake, I think about the man I've tangled my life with. A man who hurts people to protect what's his. Who keeps his mother's sanctuary pristine. Who calls me treasure, and means it. A man I'm falling for despite every rational objection. My phone lights up with a text. Sleep well, Tesoro. Tomorrow we'll figure out the next steps. But tonight just rest. You're safe. That's all that matters. I stare at the message, at the care underneath the words, at the violence he committed today to ensure this safety. And I realize with startling clarity, I don't just want 5 months with Daniele Pinto. I want everything. Even if everything comes with danger, darkness, and a world I was never meant to be part of. I spent 3 days at the estate. 3 days of quiet reflection, baking in Elena's welcoming kitchen, walking the grounds, and nightly phone calls with Daniele that stretched past midnight. We talk about everything. His childhood, my dreams, the impossibility of what we're attempting. On the third night he says, I'm coming to get you tomorrow. It's safe now. What changed? Victor and I reached an understanding. He stays out of Brooklyn, I don't expand into his Manhattan territories. And you remain completely off limits. How did you convince him? A long pause. I showed him documentation of every illegal operation he's running. Every bribe, every payoff, every crime. Tell him it goes to the FBI if you're ever contacted again. You're blackmailing him. I'm protecting you. There's a difference. His voice is firm. I won't apologize for keeping you safe, Lola. Not now, not ever. I'm not asking you to apologize. I'm just trying to understand the man I'm falling for. Silence. Then, rough with emotion, say that again. Which part? The falling part. My heart hammers. I'm falling for you, Daniele. Despite the danger. Despite the darkness. Maybe because you're honest about both. I'll be there at noon tomorrow. His voice is intense, controlled. And Lola? We need to talk. Really talk. About what happens after 5 months. He ends the call before I can respond, leaving me breathless with anticipation and fear. Daniele arrives exactly at noon, driving himself in a sleek black Aston Martin. He looks exhausted, shadows under his eyes, tension in his shoulders, but his face transforms when he sees me waiting on the porch. Tesoro. He pulls me into his arms, holds me like I'm something precious. 3 days was too long. You look tired. I am. But I'm here now. With you. He pulls back, cups my face. Let's go home. The drive back to the city is quiet, comfortable. His hand finds mine on the console, fingers intertwining like it's the most natural thing in the world. At the townhouse, Maria greets us with obvious relief. Welcome back, Miss Peterson. I've made your favorite soup. Thank you, Maria. Daniele leads me to his study, closes the door. The privacy feels significant, weighted. We need to renegotiate, he says without preamble. My stomach drops. You want to end this? No. He crosses to me quickly. God, no. The opposite. I want to extend it. Indefinitely. I stare at him. What? The arrangement was 6 months. But 3 weeks in, I know 6 months won't be enough. 6 years might not be enough. He takes my hands. I want you to stay, Lola. Not as an arrangement. As my partner. My girlfriend. He stops, jaw working. Eventually, if you want, my wife. The room spins. You're asking me to marry you? I'm asking you to consider a future with me. A real one. Where the money I give you isn't payment but support. Where the protection isn't transactional but devotion. Where we build something together instead of pretending for 6 months. But your world, the danger, will always be there. I can't change what I am or what I do. His grip tightens on my hands. But I can promise you'll always be protected. Always be valued. Always be chosen every single day for the rest of my life. Tears blur my vision. This is insane. Completely. He smiles, that rare genuine smile that transforms his severe face. But you ran into that elevator toward me, remember? Maybe you knew even then that being insane was exactly what we needed. I can't give you an answer right now. This is too big, too fast. I know. I'm not asking for an answer today. I'm asking you to think about it. To consider if what we have is worth the complications. He releases one of my hands to brush away my tears. Take your time. Build your bakery. Live your life. I'll be here waiting for however long you need. And if I decide 5 months is all I can handle? Pain flashes across his features. Then I'll keep my promise. You get your money, your freedom, your bakery. And I'll let you go even though it will destroy me. The raw honesty breaks me. I pull him down to kiss him, desperate, claiming, a promise I'm not quite ready to say out loud. The bakery smells like heaven. Butter and sugar and chocolate, mixed with fresh coffee and possibility. Nana's legacy, painted in elegant script across the window, people lined up outside before we even opened. I adjust the display case one more time, hands shaking with excitement and nerves. It's perfect, Jenna assures me. She's my business partner now, another thing Daniele made possible by investing in our expansion plans. Stop fidgeting. I can't believe this is really happening. Believe it? You earned this. She hugs me tight. I'm so proud of you. The bell chimes. Daniele enters, devastating in a charcoal suit, carrying an enormous bouquet of peonies, my favorite. For the entrepreneur, he says, kissing me softly. Congratulations, Tesoro. You're early. We don't open for another hour. I wanted a moment alone before the chaos. He looks around the space. Exposed brick, vintage fixtures, the professional kitchen visible through glass windows. It's exactly what you envisioned. Because of you. Because of you. I provided money. You provided the dream, the work, the recipes, the heart. He sets down the flowers, pulls me close. I'm so proud of you. 6 months ago I would have argued. Would have diminished my accomplishment or credited him. But I've learned to accept both truths. He helped make this possible and I earned it through my own effort. Thank you, I said simply. For everything. About that. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a small velvet box. My heart stops. Daniele. I know we agreed to revisit this after 5 months. That was 4 weeks ago. I've been patient, given you space to get the bakery open. He opens the box, revealing a stunning ring, emerald-cut diamond in platinum, elegant and classic. But I can't wait anymore, Lola. Marry me. Be my wife, my partner, my future. Choose this insanity with me. Behind us I hear Jenna gasp. Tears stream down my face. You're asking me in my bakery? I'm asking you in the place you built. The dream you achieved. Because I don't want you to choose me from desperation or necessity. I want you to choose me from strength and certainty. I'm still scared. Of your world, the danger, what it means. I know. But you've been part of my world for 6 months now. You've seen the worst of it, the violence, the threats, the darkness. And you're still here. Still choosing to stay. He's right. I've met his associates, witnessed his business dealings, understood exactly what protection means in his world. I've seen him make decisions I don't always agree with, exercise power that sometimes frightens me. But I've also seen his loyalty, his fierce protectiveness of innocence, his rigid code of ethics within his dangerous world. I've seen him with Maria, with Elena, with the people who depend on him. I've watched him keep his mother's garden and visit her grave every Sunday. I've seen every side of Daniele Pinto. And I love all of them. Yes, I whisper. Yes, I'll marry you. His control shatters. He slides the ring on my finger, pulls me into a kiss that's joy and relief and promise. Behind us, Jenna is crying and laughing simultaneously. There's one condition, I say when we finally break apart. His eyes darken with wariness. What? You teach me about your business. Really teach me. Not just the legitimate parts, all of it. If I'm going to be your wife, I need to understand your world completely. No more protection through ignorance. He studies me for a long moment. It will change how you see me. Some of it is ugly, Lola. Brutal. I know. But I'd rather understand than wonder. Rather be your partner in truth than your protected princess. Something fierce and proud crosses his features. You're sure? I'm sure. Then I'll teach you everything. He kisses me again, softer. But right now you have a bakery opening and customers waiting. We'll celebrate tonight. How? His smile is wicked. I'm taking my fiancée to the Celestial Hotel. We're going to have dinner in the restaurant, then ride the elevator to the penthouse suite I've reserved. The elevator where we met? The exact one. I'm going to make love to you in the place where our story started. He traces my jawline. Any objections? Heat floods my body. None whatsoever. The Celestial Hotel gleams in morning sunlight. I navigate the lobby with confidence now. No more service entrances, no looking over my shoulder, no fear. I'm here for a meeting about supplying desserts for the hotel's restaurant. My bakery has expanded to 3 locations and wholesale contracts are taking us to the next level. The elevator chimes. I step inside, remembering another day, another version of myself who was running from her past instead of building her future. Hold the door. I press the button instinctively. A young woman rushes in, arms full of pastry boxes, looking harried and overwhelmed. Thank you so much, she gasps. I'm running late for a delivery and... She stops, eyes widening as she recognizes me. Oh my God. You're Lola Pinto. From Nana's Legacy. I follow you on Instagram. Your recipes are incredible. I smile, remembering being that girl, desperate, afraid, dreaming of something bigger. What's your name? Sophie. Those look heavy, Sophie. What are you delivering? Wedding cake samples for the hotel catering manager. It's my first big opportunity, and I'm terrified I'm going to mess it up. I look at this young pastry chef, seeing my younger self so clearly. Want some advice? Please. Walk in there with confidence. Your work speaks for itself. And if anyone makes you feel small or questions your ability, remember you're the one with the skill they need. The elevator chimes at her floor. You've got this. She steps out, turning back with a grateful smile. Thank you. Really. As the doors close, I catch my reflection in the brass. Diamond wedding ring, designer clothes, confidence I earned through survival and success. My phone buzzes. Daniele, meeting finished early. Lunch at home? I miss my wife. I smile, typing back, on my way. Love you. The elevator rises smoothly, no emergencies, no drama. Just a woman going about her successful life in the city she loves. But sometimes when I'm alone in elevators, I remember that day. The fear, the desperation, the collision that changed everything. I ran toward danger because I was out of options. I stayed because danger became safety, arrangement became love, and the man I should have run from became my home. Not every story is simple. Not every prince is clean. Not every rescue looks like rescue at first. But standing here in this elevator, in this life I built with my own hands and Danielle's fierce protection, I wouldn't change a single moment. Even the terrifying ones. Especially the terrifying ones. Because they led me here. To love and success and a future I never imagined possible. The elevator doors open. I step out into my extraordinary, complicated, beautiful life. And I've never looked back.
If you enjoy watching this, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.